Hello friends and welcome back to my homestead. We're in the kitchen again today because we are making a very special dessert that is called Rogaliki. Rogaliki is one of those little rolled up pastry with a little bit of jam inside, and no Christmas can go without baking rogaliki, at least in our household. So I put on my mama's old apron, and in memory of my mama, I'm gonna be making this holiday treat today with my girls. Now normally we get together with all of the girls in my family, my sisters, my nieces, but unfortunately with going on we cannot do that this year. So I am home just with my girls, and we're gonna be still making this beautiful dessert. So let me show you the things we will need. Before we do anything else, we need to sift the flour, and I'm using this old Ukrainian sifter to sift 7 cups of flour because we want to bring a lot of air into the flour so it will be nice and soft and airy dough. Don't freak out. So we're gonna start by using some warm milk, and this is 2 cups of warm milk, and I'm gonna pour in the bowl first, and I'm gonna mix it with 2 tablespoons of dried yeast. And I'm gonna add 1, 2, and if I don't count out loud, I will forget. That's what I have to do out loud. And then I'm gonna add half a cup of sugar. And the sugar will help yeast to eat something and grow. So I'm just gonna mix them all together, and I'm gonna put them in a warm place near my wood stove for the next 15-20 minutes to start working. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna work on my other ingredients. So I'm just gonna ask can you go put this by the wood stove some nearby? All right, in the meanwhile, I'm gonna start on the rest of the ingredients. So in the mixing bowl, and I'm gonna be using a mixing bowl, I'm gonna be using a mixer today, I'm gonna beat 2 eggs. So I have my homegrown eggs, and they are just wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna beat them with a pinch of salt and a little bit of vanilla. So next I'm gonna add a teaspoon or so of vanilla, because why not? The vanilla tastes delicious. And I'm gonna add some sour cream, and I'm gonna mix everything together. Oh, the sounds of Christmas. Dogs barking, kids fighting. Love it. Okay. And let's whip everything together again. All right, so now I'm gonna be adding butter, and I need a stick and a quarter, stick and a quarter of soft butter. So again, the softer the better, but not melted. I know there's some recipes for rogaliki that asking for melted butter. I prefer to use soft butter.
Hola.
Oh, hi, babe. And I'm gonna whip everything together. Okay. So now my yeast has grown a little bit, and it created a nice little hat, and I'm going to be adding that to my butter and egg mixture, and I'll just mix everything together again. All right, so at this point I'm going to start adding flour, but I'm going to add it in sections. I'm going to do it slowly, because again, we don't know how much flour it will totally take. So I will add it a little bit at a time. And I do have to change that hook from a whipping hook, I don't know the proper terminology for that, to a dough hook. All right, changed it to a dough hook, and I'm gonna keep adding slowly more and more flour. gonna finish this up on the table. Okay, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more flour on my table, my work surface. Okay, and I'm gonna finish it here on the table. So I have to say, I think I needed, are you sure it was 7 cups, Tonya? You put 7 cups? I feel like it's definitely not enough. All right, and we dump it all out. Because it's still awfully too soft. So I would definitely needs more sugar. I mean, more flour. All right. Oh, I love this dough. Oh, people, this is good dough. It's soft. For some reason, I always learned from my mama that yeast dough likes the warmth of your hands. So it is good to work with it with your hands. Because machines are easy and convenient, that's for sure, but it does not give the warmth of your hands. So I think I'm going to be done. So basically I used 7 cups and when I was mixing it with machine, and I added another half a cup. And I don't know if you heard me guys say this before, but every flour is different. Every flour is different as far as quality and how much it's going to take. And also, it makes a big difference, the humidity in the room, in the environment at that time. It makes a huge difference. All right, boys and girls, the dough is done. So see how it's still very soft and it no longer sticks to my hands. It's perfect. This dough is wonderful. All right, so this guy needs to now sit and rest for a little bit. All right, so I have a bowl prepared right here. And I'm just gonna, I could put a little bit of butter, I think, just on the bottom so it doesn't stick too much. You can use a little bit of oil or you can use a little bit of butter. I'm just gonna grease it just a little bit. It's like an extra step so it doesn't stick to the bottom. All right. And I will cover this so it doesn't dry up. So friends, my dough needs to rise and it needs to be in a warm place. So I have a wood stove going, so I'm gonna put it by the wood stove. Not on the wood stove because I don't want it to cook and bake right now, but I'm gonna put it, Bruno, move buddy. I'm gonna put it right above on a shelf where it's nice and warm. And it's gonna sit there for about an hour or so while I make hot chocolate for my girls. So the dough has doubled in size and now it's time to roll it out. So what I need to do is I need to take just a little bit of dough. Okay, I'm gonna cut out a piece of, feel that. Ooh, look at that, like a fat little belly. All right, I'm gonna take a piece of dough about this size, maybe a little bit bigger next time, but I'm gonna keep everything covered so it does not dry up. All right, while I'm working on this, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on the surface. Okay, put my dough here. Take my rolling pin also. Oh, the oven is preheated to 325. Perfect timing. And I'm gonna roll this bad boy out. So again, sticking a little bit, need more flour. So again, how thick to roll it out? Not too thin, but not too fat. Because remember, this is yeast dough. So once it hits the oven, it's going to rise and they're going to be nice and plumpy little horns. That's what they translate as horns. But if you guys like to eat croissants, they do resemble a little bit shape of a croissant, almost. But it's not a croissant. Wait until you see this bad boy. And we make this every single Christmas without a fail. There's no Christmas without Rogaliki. If you did not have Rogaliki on Christmas, Christmas never came, basically. You know, thinking about traditions,
We didn't grow up with Santa. We did not leave cookies and milk for Santa because we did not have Santa. In the Soviet Union, they had this Ded Moroz. Ded Moroz, translation, I don't know, Old Man the Frost. And he came from the woods, and he was friends with animals, and he had a granddaughter with him. Very interesting. But he came on New Year, not on Christmas. So on Christmas, we did not have no Santa Claus. All right, so here I rolled it out, nice and thin. All right, nice big circle. And now I'm gonna take a handful of sugar, because remember, there's not much sugar in this dough at all. And I'm gonna sprinkle this bad boy around. And now I'm just going to circle this around. It looks like snow, like a snowstorm type of thing, okay? And now I'm gonna roll this out, now I'm gonna cut this out into thin strips. How thin you make this, it's up to you. Now I like nice and big fat rogaliki. My sister likes them really thin. She makes them tiny little guys because that's what she likes. I prefer them nice and fat. So it's almost like cutting pizza dough, almost. Oh, stay there, big boy. All right. So you cut this out. Stay over there. Why are you following me? You cut this out. You cut this out. Okay. Now we have to pick a jam. A jam of your choice. So we have a selection here. We have some apple homemade jam. We have mixed fruit preserves. We got blackberry, of your choice. But I do not recommend jelly. Jelly will run and you're gonna have a big fat mess. So I prefer to use jam. Why? Because jam is a little thicker. So I'm gonna take a spoonful or half a spoon, depends on how big your strips you made, okay? And you put it on the edge. So like, see, this one is thinner. So I'm gonna put a little less in there. All right. And even if something escapes, oh well, but it's gonna be delicious. All right, so you put in the edge, just like this. I feel like this guy deserves a little more. I'll give him a little more in a second. All right, whoops, a mess, I'm making a mess. It's okay, it's homemade. All right. So every year we do this in remembrance of my mama. Okay, so now I'll finish cutting that in the middle. Okay, so now you have to roll them up. And people rolling them in different methods, but I like to first make a triangle, tuck everything in so my jam does not escape. Okay, and then I roll it up, 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 roll it up. And done. Isn't this gorgeous? Here's my rogalik, my first rogalik. And I'm gonna put them on the cookie sheet with a parchment paper, okay? And I'm gonna line them all up in there. And then we're gonna bake them. And we're gonna bake them at 325-degree oven. And how long? I'm gonna say we're gonna start with 15 minutes. And some of the bigger ones, the fatter ones, will require 20 minutes. So we'll see. It's always, you know, something different every year. All right. So I'm leaving a little space in between because, again, remember, guys, this is yeast dough, and they're going to rise up and get bigger. This guy needs to be fixed. I don't like this guy. Come on, get pretty. This is Christmas time. Not a perfectionist or anything, but it's a Christmas time. You gotta be pretty for Jesus. All right. Wow, look at these guys. So they're gonna sit and wait until I roll up and fill up the entire cookie sheet. We're gonna bake this bad boy for about 15 minutes, or at least I'm gonna set the timer for 15 minutes, and we'll see how long it takes. Good job. Not too thin, not too thin. Because we like them nice and fluffy. Well, that's gonna be gigantic. Those are gonna be like croissant size. Wow. Nice. All right, now we gotta put all the jam on it. All right, I think they're done. So they've been in the oven. Ooh, the nice golden color. Yeah, a little bit of jam still kind of leaked out, but it's okay. All right, so now they can sit and just cool off a little bit, or I can scoop them up and put them in my serving dish. They are super hot, so I'm gonna try not to handle them by hand if I can. They are so soft and fluffy. Okay, so now I just placed them. They're still hot, and I was burning myself touching them. Now I have to sprinkle with a little bit of powdered sugar. Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Powdered sugar. So, and it resembles some snow. Yeah. And I'm gonna do that with each layer. Aren't they beautiful? And they're so soft. Oh, I love it. Okay, friends, so our batch of rogaliki is finished. Isn't this beautiful? Notice the theme with Russian pastries and powdered sugar. We always put them on our Christmas pastries. So here's one. Look how soft it is. Ah, look at this bouncy, soft goodness. I'm gonna break it apart, and hopefully the filling did not leak out. Nope, it's there, nice yellow. It was the apple filling. So I'm gonna taste the piece. Oh my goodness, so good. I shouldn't be talking with my mouth full, but it's so good. It's delicious. All right, friends, I hope you guys are encouraged to, oh my word, girls. I hope you guys are encouraged to bake something special for your family. I know we all have traditions. This is our tradition. So I hope you guys are encouraged and try something new.